Hey, how's it going, guys? S1ippery Jim here, bringing you some Gears of War 3. And I have neglected Gears a little bit after playing Modern Warfare 3 so much when that came out, and I don't know, is it just me or are there a lot of games with 3 in the title at the moment? But anyway, there was a challenge called the Impossible Mission, and to complete this by 21st of December, you were awarded this Ghost Protocol weapon skin, a limited edition custom skin. As you can see, it's kind of a greenish look. It's not really my favorite weapon skin. I probably won't be using it too much, but there you go. And it was as good an excuse as any to come and do this challenge. Now, basically the challenge is to complete the entire mission on Gears of War 3 in insane difficulty. I'm not one at the best of times for completing campaigns on a lot of games. I usually focus on the survival style modes or the multiplayer, but I'm going to show you a little bit of this campaign, not the whole thing. Now let's take a look at that Ghost Protocol skin in the flesh here, as modeled by General Ram. Beautiful. Let's get to the gameplay though. This is the very final chapter in the campaign, and what I'll be showing you is a few tips that will help you get through this if you're playing on insane difficulty. So as soon as you get out of this elevator, come around the back of the elevator to take cover, and you will get all the enemy then in front of you in one direction. So if you head forward and try to take cover in those pillars or wherever around those crates, you will have enemy coming from both sides and in front, which is problematic. So in insane difficulty, the enemy obviously are extremely deadly accurate with their weapons, and they do a lot of damage, and they're resistant to damage as well. Now if you want to complete the campaign on insane difficulty in the quickest and easiest manner, what I recommend doing is to play it on arcade mode, as I'm doing. That also gives you the bonus of getting the extra arcade medal at the end. You will actually end up with at least 2 Onyx medals for doing the campaign in arcade and completing it on insane difficulty. So first thing is to do it in arcade mode, preferably. But importantly, if you have the mutators unlocked for super reload, which is what I'm using, that's probably the most important one. And I also use infinite ammo as well, just so I don't have to scrounge around for ammo every second of the game. Now those, what super reload does for you is when you get an active reload on your weapon, it hugely increases the power of your bullets, and that means you can take down the enemy much easier with that damage boost, and also increases the volume of your magazine by however amount of active reloaded ammo you get at the time. So you can see I get an active reload here of maybe 90% of my magazine. Okay, now once you've taken out this first wave, you get this next cutscene will occur, in which Marcus's father, Professor Adam Phoenix, is powering up his Lambent infection destroying weapon. And what you want to do after this is basically go and locate a Hammer of Dawn, and there are 3 of these attached to pillars that arise from the ground just after this point here. Now, the object of this final chapter is to take down the Tempest, which is that huge bumblebee-looking locust beast, and you also will take down the Queen Mirror, who is riding it. So you need to very importantly take cover behind these pillars when it uses its attack that you can see there, where it uses like super bright rays of radiation or whatever it is. So you need to be listening out for that sound that signals that the attack is going to come. Take cover immediately behind one of these pillars around this circular area. Now in between this, you want to be firing into the beast's mouth, and you will hear a signature noise, like a crackling or popping noise when you're hitting the target. Now after you do enough damage to the beast, it will collapse onto the ground, and at that point you want to use the Hammer of Dawn. And we haven't actually picked up the Hammer of Dawn yet, but they will appear shortly for us when the time comes. And if you're using your active reloads, then you're going to do it much quicker and easier. So this battle does pose quite a bit of a challenge on insane difficulty. More towards the end, when you have other Locust enemies attacking you at the same time as this the Tempest beast. But I'll explain a few tactics that I found helpful. And here's the first time where the Tempest falls to the ground. So what we're going to do is grab one of these Hammer of Dawns. You can see them coming up out of the ground very conveniently here for us. So we've grabbed one of them, swapped it out for the old Nasher shotgun. And there's actually 3 of these Hammer of Dawns available, because you will go through the ammo and you'll probably need at least 2 of them to complete this chapter. Okay, so with the Hammer of Dawn, you just want to blast the Tempest with that. It will kind of hop around injured a little bit, and then it will resume its flight into the sky, and you just rinse and repeat. I believe it's 3 times that you need to down it and hit it with the Hammer of Dawn to complete this section of the final boss wave. 3 seems to be the magical number in these boss fights in games, don't you think? That's kind of a theme at the moment in games. Anyway, it's basically probably as difficult with 3 regular co-op partners as it is with just the 3 AI computer supplied bots that I'm playing with in this particular part of the campaign. But one tactic that I find useful pretty much throughout the game, if you're playing solo in one of these major heavy battle situations where you're getting hammered all the time, is to try and separate yourself from the other 3 in your group, in your squad. And the reason for that is basically most of the enemy will be attacking those 3 guys, the majority of the squad, and a lot of them will be leaving you alone. So that'll be handy in some sections of the map. And what I'm going to do is show you 2 or 3 of the more difficult sections of the campaign and strategies that you can use if you get stuck at those points of the game. And there are 2 or 3 spots where it does get difficult, even using super reload and stuff like that. Okay, so we're continuing on here, doing exactly the same process. It's a little bit repetitive. It'd be nice if they kind of mixed up these boss battles a little bit. And we're just continuing to shoot the beast in its gaping maw, doing it some damage, and taking cover every time that it uses its main attack. And it's fallen down again here, collapsed onto the ground, so we're going to grab another Hammer of Dawn here, a fresh one, and give it the good old heave-ho with the Hammer of Dawn. And then what I'm going to do is basically try and move away from the area where the squad is, and what will happen later in this fight is you will get 2 lots of enemies attacking you at the same time, and they're the ones that will cause you the problems in completing this chapter. So you're going to get Shriekers, which the Tempest actually summons as part of its powers, and you're also going to get the Theron Guard grappling their way up top of this tower here and attacking them. So you need to watch out for them, try and take them out, concentrate on them as much as possible, but simultaneously making sure you're still seeking cover when the Tempest is using this powerful attack, because it will kill you straight away if you step out into that light beam of radiation or whatever it is that it is using here. But it's it may seem fairly straightforward, but this is a tough chapter, you know, in any difficulty, but particularly in insane difficulty, obviously. And I did die in between some of these checkpoints, I think about 2 or 3 times in completing this. So it's no piece of cake, but it's certainly not impossible either. And as I said, if you are using those mutators, the super reload mutator in particular, the max ammo one as well, will make it easier and quicker for you. You'll be able to complete insane difficulty as quickly and easily as it is possible to do, but you need to set that up in arcade mode to use the mutators. Now the mutators are unlocked fairly easily, reasonably quickly, and it's worth unlocking them even just for doing this campaign on insane difficulty. Okay, so we're nearly at the point where it moves on to the next stage of the boss fight here, and I'm just looking around at this point for another Hammer of Dawn, because I have almost exhausted this second one that I've got. And I'm trying to remember where it is actually, because this was one of the first times that this was like the second time that I played this chapter, and I didn't know the layout of the map super well. But I remember that there's little blue lights where the Hammer of Dawns are situated, so I'm looking for those blue lights. And they end up being right around the other side of this circular structure. There we go. Come on, S1ippery. Get your act together. And just taking cover in between, because I don't want to get this far and then get killed again. And looking here, I'm thinking, is this a dispensing machine, or what the hell is it? And then I realise that the last one's over here on this pillar across from it. There we go, beautiful. Now when it comes to Gears of War 3, guys, maybe leave me a comment on how you're enjoying it, or how you have enjoyed it. I know it has been out a number of months now. I know it has recently been awarded a number of prestigious awards. Recently GameSpot awarded it the Best Shooter of 2011, amazingly, over games like Battlefield 3. Modern Warfare 3 wasn't even in their top 5. Whatever you think of that, but it's also won Best Action Adventure Game and stuff like that, so it has been recognised for being the brilliant game that it is. Okay, now getting back to the gameplay here in this final boss fight, and we're just going to take down this Tempest one more time, so he's nearly at the point where he's going to collapse on the ground again. We'll just got one more attack in. And there we go. So I'm going to get out the Hammer of Dawn again. Get him all nice and crispy. And then what will happen is he will flop around a little bit. And then he'll fly off and attack the tower where the device is being brought up to speed by the Professor. So what you need to do when that happens is to shoot the beast in the back, and you need to make sure that he stops his attack on the tower, because apparently if you don't do it in time, he will destroy the tower and you will need to go back to the last checkpoint, which is not exactly what you want to happen. So there we go, it's not too difficult, especially using super reload and hitting your active reloads. Now at this point, you see I'm moving away to the side a little bit, because if you hang around in that one spot where I was before, you're going to get a lot of these other locust enemies attacking you, and they will take you out with a couple of shots, so you need to be super careful to take them down when you see them, and try and avoid them as much as you can, so that your other 3 co-op dudes will, there's a couple of them now, the Theron guards, and they come up the side on grappling hooks, so just be watching out for them. But simultaneously you need to take cover, as we said, from the Tempest's main attack as well. So if you keep moving along this, keep moving around this circular area, moving away from the other enemy that will come and attack you, then hopefully your squad will take them out for you for the most part. Alright, so once again, as you can see, we're back to the same old strategy where we have to shoot this thing in its mouth, doing some Lancer dental work, and exactly the same process. So once it gets enough damage, it will fall, and you use the Hammer of Dawn on it, and repeat that until it is done. Now just be mindful of looking out for the Theron Guard and the Shriekers that might start attacking you basically at any point during this last part of the fight as well. And for a second time it'll go up and start attacking the tower, as you can see is happening here. I'm just looking out for other enemy as well, and we'll try and get it off the tower. So it's a pretty lengthy chapter, this one. It's a pretty long, drawn-out sort of boss fight, especially if you factor in any times that you go down. And you'd have to be some sort of superhuman Gears god to get through this in solo on insane difficulty without getting down a few times in this final fight. In my opinion, even using super reload. Like, super reload's not going to protect you from taking damage from your enemies. It's not going to make them any less accurate or anything like that either. And you'll see me spraying basically randomly like this. It's just so I can set up that active reload for some extra damage. Now I'm nearing the end of this final chapter of the campaign. We've nearly destroyed this Locust boss, and I've just got to grab another Hammer of Dawn here because my other ones ran out of ammo, and that will be it. It will be game over for the Locust and for Mirror as well. And what I'm going to show you is the final cutscene right to the end of the game for you guys to enjoy if you haven't seen it already, and I will be ending my commentary at that point as well. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been a little bit helpful if you're struggling with the insane difficulty campaign in Gears of War 3. And I will be bringing you a few more videos for different sections of the campaign that may be tricky to get through. But for now, I'll leave you with the conclusion to what was an epic campaign in Gears of War 3. And thanks for watching, guys. S1ippery Jim out.
It'll be at full power soon.
Professor, you said you tested this. How?
On myself, Damon. I had to see how the emulsion developed over its life cycle. So I injected myself with it to accelerate things.
You saw what it did to humans in Mercy. Let's go, Dad. This tower's too unstable now.
I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm not going to make it.
It's okay. I'll carry you.
Marcus, the emulsion developed faster in me because I forced it to. I had to find out how it reproduced.
What are you talking about? Oh, shit. No! You are not going to die!
It's too late, Marcus. Every cell in my body's breaking down. And this is going to happen to every contaminated cell on Sarah. It has to.
No, goddammit, I can't lose you again!
I'm glad I was able to see you again, Marcus. Now go and live for me.
He's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Hubris.
Hold your fire.
Ah, so pious and moral, even now.
Is that what you think?
Your father always thought he had all the answers, but he had none. Nothing but clever ways to kill. The Hammer of Dawn, Jacinta, and now this. And his arrogance finally killed him.
Feel that? That's from Dom. And everyone else you've killed, you bitch.
Marcus, whatever it takes, I'm here.
What's left, Anya? What have we got left now?
Tomorrow, Marcus. We finally got it tomorrow.